Gracias por tenerlos. Thank you so much for having us. Um, I am really excited to start attending these meetings. I um, I was very moved by the presentation last week about everything that you've done in these 5 years. You guys were getting emotional. I was getting emotional. It's very powerful what you're doing, and I have not been in a room with so many Latinos in a long time. I really enjoyed seeing people going from Spanish to English back and forth. It reminded me of growing up in Florida. So thank you for having us. Today, I'm trying to speak slowly, but today we are here to talk about Get Real and Heal, and it is spelled H-E-E-L. It is a program out of UNC Lineberger, so they love their Tar Heels. And this is a program that I personally benefited from. It is a cancer survivorship program that combines exercise and kind of emotional support. So my story is a few years ago, I was getting my regular mammogram at Duke. I have all of my services at Duke, and I was very unexpectedly diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 44. So it was a real shock. And, I think like most people, I was just in survival mode, trying to take care of my family and squeeze in cancer care in the middle of everything. At some point during my process, I realized that, this was much harder than I had expected. I was struggling with fatigue from medication and treatment, lymphedema, some stiffness under my arm from surgery, and like a lot of people, just feeling kind of low for having to go through this experience. And that is when one of my health professionals wrote a referral to Get Real and Heal. And I was able to start going and participating. And it did a lot for both my body and my spirit. It wasn't like a normal gym. You go to this program and it isn't to lose weight, get your beach body, kind of the vibe of a normal gym. This was about healing and recuperation and getting your body back to baseline so you can live your life. And when I heard that they were doing a Latino version of the program, I wanted to get involved. And that's what got me connected with Carly Bailey, who is the director of the program. And I will now pass it to her and she will start the presentation.
Thanks so much, Vivian. So I'm just going to very briefly talk about our team. So, like Vivian said, I am the director of the Get Real and Heal program. I'm an exercise physiologist by training, and I work under the leadership of Don Rosenstein, who's the director of the Comprehensive Cancer Support Program at UNC Lineberger, and also Michelle Manning, who's the deputy director of administration. We have a relatively large team. We work with Bill Wood in the Division of Hematology as our medical director of Get Real and Heal. And then our Spanish speaking team includes Guy Villegas and Vivian as well. So we're lucky to be on such a large team, and we have been working on these ideas of statewide dissemination of programs and also cultural adaptations of programs since 2014. Dr. Rosenstein founded a statewide network, which was supported by the Duke Endowment. And the whole idea of this network was to have a community of people across the state who serve the cancer survivorship community and who want to continue to implement cancer survivorship programs. And so they did that. A few years ago, they started a financial toxicity grant. And then I approached Dr. Rosenstein about launching Get Real and Heal across the state. And so that is what we have done now. We are also in the process of culturally adapting Get Real and Heal, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute. But back in 2014, Dr. Rosenstein uh, culturally adapted the Cancer Transitions Program. And so some of you may be familiar with this program. And so this kind of, I believe they call it a HORA-K. And so they culturally adapted a cancer survivorship program called Cancer Transitions. And so we have a blueprint for what culturally adapting these kinds of wellness programs for the Spanish speaking community could look like. So we know that cancer and exercise should go together. Exercise can drastically improve symptoms and quality of life in people who have had a cancer diagnosis. We also know that exercise is really important for increasing fitness and overall physical function. We also know that exercise is efficacious and safe for people who have had a cancer diagnosis. And because of this, we have our Get Real and Heal program at UNC. And we have been doing this program since 2006. We're a 12-week program, and people come for their baseline assessment where we kind of get a picture of their overall health. We do a physical assessment and take some surveys, and then they go through our program 3 times a week for 12 weeks. And then we repeat everything that we did in the beginning at the end so we can track how people are improving. And our workouts are usually circuit formats. They are whole body exercises. We try to target all major muscle groups in our strength training and help people move towards that 30 minutes of cardio in each workout. So, moving people towards the guidelines for cancer survivors. Um, for this grant, where we're launching across the state, we're hoping, well, we are disseminating Get Real and Heal to 6 sites across the state, which has already started. And then, like I said before, we're in the process of culturally adapting this program. And so this is why it's important to culturally adapt. We decided to culturally adapt rather than just hire a translator, because we want to make sure that our program is meeting the specific needs of the Latino community here. And we know that Latinx cancer survivors are obese and have poor cardiovascular fitness or cardiorespiratory fitness. They also have higher incidences of cancer. And there's just an increased risk for long-term health complications after a cancer diagnosis. And importantly, there's no adapted exercise for Spanish speakers in North Carolina that we're aware of. And so we're hoping to be the first and really able to build this program that we can share with other sites across the state so that they can continue to meet the needs of the Latino community here in North Carolina. So when we culturally adapt our program, we had to hire someone who spoke Spanish on our team. And so we did that. Guy is our staff member, and then Vivian has graciously joined our team also to help support us. We're going to have 6 focus groups. We have already done 2. We're currently in the process of recruiting for our 3rd focus group. And so we're offering an incentive for participation, and it's about 90 minutes and it'll be on Zoom. Our next focus group is planned for April 9th. And the idea is that we're going to get some information from these first 3 focus groups and then build the program based on what we learned, and then bring this program that we've built back to those same individuals and make sure that we got it right. And then we'll tweak it and then hopefully launch. So we could end up with more than 6 focus groups, but that's kind of what we're targeting right now. And then once we've got our program, we're going to launch at 2 sites in Chapel Hill and also at a site in Wake Forest, where they have a robust Spanish speaking community and program at a nonprofit there. And so, Vivian, do you want to take a minute and talk about what we've learned so far from our focus groups?
Yes. Yeah, and I can go through this quickly if you want to just put up the content. So basically, some of the things like what I have already touched on or what we'd heard from the survivors, fatigue is an issue, low mood, difficulty with mobility. Specific to the Latino community, we've heard a little more need for transportation and childcare, some preferences for dancing workouts and walking workouts, specific Spanish instruction, maybe rather than just translation, perhaps. And they have a strong faith community. And so we have been considering partnering with churches like St. Thomas More and Immaculate Conception to provide a safe space where people are already convening because they have large Latino groups. So to create a welcoming, comfortable environment for people. And then if you want to advance to the next screen, that was my timer to make sure we wrap up in time. But our last slide here is the call to action. Since we are new with this program and we want to make sure that we have a lot of participation, we are asking if you could help spread this information to your network. We have a post on our Facebook group at UNC Get Real and Heal, HEEL. If you want to just repost, if you're able to do that. We have a focus group next Wednesday via Zoom, so it's not too late to get the word out. We would love to have as many Latino survivors as possible. And for me, this isn't just about one program. It's really showing the funders like Duke Endowment that there is a need for this and that Latinos deserve to have the same opportunities and representation in programming and in research. So we would really appreciate your help in spreading the word. And if you have questions, you can reach out to me. I put my email in the chat. It's my personal email. Guillermo Villegas, his information is here on the slide, and it's also on the flyer as well. So we can get you flyers and any other information you need. But thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate your squeezing us into the meeting today. And if you have any questions, if there's time for questions, I will let Dr. Martinez Bianchi
Yeah.
decide if we have time, but we are
Yes,
available.